I just want to remind you, this is not financial advice. This is just a hobby, and I'm sharing my thoughts for fun. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. All right, let's dive into Avalanche, AVAX. There's a lot to talk about, so let's break it down step by step. So, first, let's start with what makes Avalanche stand out. If we take a look at its main page, we can see right away that it's built for speed and efficiency. It's one of the fastest smart contract platforms out there, with almost instant finality. Transactions settle in under a second, while something like Bitcoin can take minutes or even hours depending on network congestion. And fees? Yeah, super cheap compared to Ethereum. We all know how insane gas fees can get on Ethereum, right? Sometimes, sending a simple transaction can cost more than the actual amount you're transferring. Avalanche solves this with its unique architecture. One thing that makes it different from Ethereum and Solana is its subnet system. This allows projects to build custom blockchains within Avalanche's ecosystem, meaning it can scale much better than traditional Layer 1 chains. Alright, so that's Avalanche in a nutshell. Now let's take a look at some on-chain data to see how it's performing. I pulled up the Avalanche overview on Dune Analytics, and there are some interesting trends. When we look at transactions, we don't really see strong growth, it's been somewhat flat. But new accounts are increasing, and that's important. More new users coming in means more adoption over time. Another key thing to note is the growth in smart contracts being deployed. More developers building on Avalanche means the ecosystem is expanding. This reminds me of Ethereum in its early days. At first, people were skeptical, but as more projects launched, it gained massive traction. Now, if we check the block statistics, we see some solid data. The network is handling more blocks per second, meaning activity is picking up. And when activity grows, demand for AVAX tokens also increases, which could impact price movement. So, speaking of price, let's take a deep dive into the charts. Right now, AVAX is in a really interesting spot. We saw a major breakdown after failing to hit my original $100 target in February. Instead of breaking higher, we entered another consolidation phase, a long period of sideways movement. But now we're starting to see a new bottom forming, and that's important. If this bottom holds, we could be looking at a reversal to the upside. One key indicator supporting this is bullish divergence. While price has been moving down, the MACD indicator has been trending upward. This is a classic signal that momentum is shifting. So where could AVAX go from here? Well, based on the technicals, a reasonable target is around $50 in the coming months. That would be a strong move from current levels, but not unrealistic. If the trend continues, we could see price accelerate much faster, but of course this depends on the overall market, especially Bitcoin. Because let's be real, if Bitcoin is struggling, most altcoins will struggle too. It doesn't matter how strong the project is. But when BTC is moving up, altcoins tend to follow, and Avalanche could see a major rally. One thing we need to watch closely is the formation of a triangle pattern on the chart. If we break upward, then AVAX is likely heading towards $50 and beyond. But if we break downward, we could revisit lower support levels before any real recovery. This is why I personally keep an eye on market structure before making any major moves. Now let's talk about market cap. AVAX already has a large market cap, which means it won't move as explosively as small cap projects. But at the same time, it's much more stable compared to low-cap altcoins, which can get wiped out in a single bad week. So, is this the end of the bear market for AVAX? Well, based on indicators, things are slowly turning positive, but we need to see confirmation. I wouldn't be surprised if we start moving up much faster than expected if the overall crypto market turns bullish. Alright, let's wrap this up with a quick summary. Avalanche is one of the fastest and cheapest smart contract platforms out there. On-chain data shows growth in new users and smart contracts, even if transactions haven't exploded yet. Technical indicators suggest a bullish divergence, which means momentum is shifting. My target is around $50 in the next few months, assuming the trend continues. However, we need to watch Bitcoin. If BTC struggles, AVAX could also see downside before making a move up. The chart shows a triangle pattern, and we need to wait for confirmation on which direction it breaks. Personally, I'm keeping an eye on AVAX and watching for the next breakout. One thing I didn't mention earlier is how Avalanche is being used in the real world. We're seeing more institutional adoption. For example, major financial firms have shown interest in Avalanche's tech, especially because of its speed and cost efficiency. And if you look at gaming and DeFi, AVAX is becoming a top choice for developers. A good example? Subnets. Projects like Shrapnel, a Web3 first-person shooter, and DeFi Kingdoms are using Avalanche's subnet technology to create custom blockchains tailored to their needs. That's something Ethereum doesn't offer at this scale. So, the real question is, can AVAX become a top 3 blockchain in the next bull run? I think it has the potential, but there are challenges, too. The biggest one is competition. Ethereum is still the king of smart contracts, and newer chains like Solana and Near Protocol are also fighting for market share. Then there's regulation. Governments are still figuring out how to deal with crypto, and any sudden policy change could affect AVAX and the whole market. But even with these risks, long-term investors remain bullish. If you look at whale wallets and big holders, they're not selling, which means they believe in Avalanche's long-term potential. That's always a good sign. So, with everything we've talked about today, the key takeaway is this: we're at a turning point. If AVAX holds support and breaks upwards, we could see a major rally in the next few months. If not, we might get another chance to accumulate at lower prices. Either way, it's an exciting time to watch the market. So what do you think? Are you holding AVAX, or are you waiting for lower prices? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And, as always, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any decisions. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.